Hello, lovelies. My name's Freedom. Welcome to Nut Free Formula. Thank you for joining me. Today's episode, I'm going to be answering a question that was sent in to me by one of my viewers. I'm not going to be mentioning her name, and I'm not going to be reading it out word for word either, but I am going to be addressing the subject matter. So essentially, I will just paraphrase. We'll call her, I don't know, let's call her Susie. So Susie is from a small country town, and her narcissistic ex, who she has children with, makes a point of breaching her boundaries, of literally physically popping up and stalking her. So popping up, running into her when she's out and about, quite literally coming up and invading her space, forcing her to talk to him, even though he knows that she feels scared and feels intimidated and threatened by him. And so Susie's writing to me, asking basically, what she thinks, what I think she should do. I just want to say one thing. Firstly, I don't know enough about the situation to give you personal advice. We would have to talk more one-on-one. However, the advice that I would give, only knowing the information that you've given, to anyone, so this is not specific to you, but it's just to anyone, is this. I would say, one, you obviously have a bully on your hands. So many of the narcissists, the malignant narcissists and the sociopaths are bullies. They only bully people who they perceive as being weaker than them. And when you are weaker than them, and when you cop the sheer force of their brutality, they can be absolutely terrifying. And I know this because I never stood up to my ex because I was scared of him. But I also have to say that almost the moment that I got police and legal protection in place, he backed right off because he didn't want to go to jail. And when they know that you're serious, when they know that you will actually call the police, get legal protection involved, so whether it's an AVO, which is what we have in Australia, which is called an apprehended violence order. I'm not sure what they have in America or in the UK or in whatever your particular country is. However, if you go to the local police and ask to speak to a domestic violence worker, they should be able to put you onto exactly what you need to do. So what paperwork you need to fill out to go to the courts to get some kind of legal protection in place. So when you get that legal protection, make sure you ask for the maximum amount of time. Make sure he can't go to your house, your place of work, any places that you frequent. So I don't know, universities, sporting clubs, wherever you go, make sure that he cannot go to those places. Once you have legal protection in place, you're going to have to use it. But here is my number two. In your particular instance, so when you're living in a small country town, I would seriously suggest moving. I would move well and truly away. I wouldn't move to the next country town over. Okay? I would move so far out of his way that it makes it too hard for him to bother. Because you have to remember, as much as these guys are bullies and they say things like, I will follow you to your dying day, right? I will kill anyone that you're with. You will never escape me. Even though they say all of this stuff, and it sounds great because I've seen it in some movie, whatever, and they're acting out that big, that character. The reality is they are always they always take the path of least resistance, right? So let's just role play what that looks like. So let's just say you've moved 5 hours out of his sphere of influence. So his town, his space, you've moved. You're 5 hours away. So now when he's festering about how he's going to destroy your life, he has two options. One, he could trek on down the road for 5 hours, 10-hour round trip, or he could maybe go to the pub and see if there's someone down there that he can talk to, get drunk with, maybe he can pick up some chick. He You can go talk to that woman down the road. She might be a bit, all right. She talked to him once or twice. Okay, that's what I mean. Path of least resistance. I mean, sure, you're always going to get one who will be the one who drives 5 hours, who stalks you for 3 days, who sleeps out in the rain with the binoculars. But the irony is that even those ones, if someone said to them, "Hey, mate, you want to come to the pub for a beer?" They'd forget about it. They'd go to the pub and have a beer. Okay, path of least resistance. They don't have the staying power. So move out of his sphere of influence, which is, as I said, in his mind, if it starts with the word his, so his town, his people, his mates, his clubs, his blah, blah, whatever, in his mind, that is his. He's obviously very territorial. The fact that he's still trying to claim you by forcing you to talk to him, making people see, look, here we are, here I am talking to my ex. He's deliberately doing it because he's trying to show to everyone that he still has control over you, that you still jump when he says jump, right? That you don't have the courage to stand up to him, that no matter what abuse he's dished out, you're still there talking to him. And also it helps him gain new supply because they look and say, oh, well, I heard those rumors about him, but look, there she is talking to him, so he can't be that bad. Okay, so you're helping him source new supply by even talking to him, right? So at some point, you're going to have to draw a line in the sand where quite literally, if he oversteps that boundary, you are going to get the law involved. And by the sounds of it, you have enough evidence. If he's laid hands on you, if he has threatened you, I mean, these are all the things that you need to log. So get a log, write this stuff out, times, date, what happened, who said what, and then that's what you can actually take to the court. And that is the evidence that they will use to give you legal protection. And the thing is, I've got to tell you one thing, right? When it comes to legal protections, the court doesn't take lightly when someone breaches a court order. So when someone has actually been told by the court to stay away from another person and then they don't, the court takes that very personally. Like, how dare you defy the court's authority? So they will quite literally come down on him. They won't muck around. I think it's something, in Australia, it's like, second strike, you can get 6 months jail. You can end up for 2 years in jail. They take it quite seriously. But, so getting back to it, but one really important thing is there is no point in having an AVO if you do not use it, or a protection order if you do not use it. You need to be prepared to use it. Now, he will have already put little seeds in your mind about loyalty, about betrayal, about snitching. He will have already put these little seeds, right? But he did it not because he actually cares about these things, because, they can be the biggest snitches there are. But he did it because he wants to be able to use you, essentially, and to ensure that you will never turn against him, that you will never betray him. But it's not a betrayal. This is you protecting you. I mean, this is war. You're at war. You don't realize it, but this is war. That what you're going through, the levels of cortisol that is pumping through your veins, the stress and the hormones and things that are happening on a physical level, it's like you're at war, quite literally. So when you come out of these situations, come out with post-traumatic stress disorder. I mean, this is serious stuff. So realize that you're at war. Treat it seriously, get the legal protections that you need, and then when he breaches them, you need to contact the police. You need to follow through. Now, the law is not set up very well. You're going to have times. So, for example, in my instance, when I first got my AVO in place, my ex would breach it so often. He would breach it within, it would take him 5 seconds by sending me some abusive text message. Now, the problem with that is it would take him 5 seconds, but it would take me 2 hours to go down to the police station, wait for the police, file a report. So what happened was I ended up going, oh, Jack, I'm not doing this. This is ridiculous. So instead, what you do is you compile 5 or 10 incidences, and then you take that to the police and do it all in one go. You don't need to be jumping to, run down to the police every time he breaches the order. But if there's physical abuse involved, ring the police straight away. Do not take any risks with your physical safety. If anyone is threatening you physically, anyone at all, it doesn't matter if it's your narcissistic ex or a total stranger, it's not negotiable. This kind of thing is not okay. This is not what we do. So you will contact the police. You need to start protecting yourself. You need to start standing up for yourself. If you saw someone being treated the way you were treated, like if you saw your child being treated the way you're being treated, imagine how you would defend and protect them. Okay? That's what you need to start doing for yourself. You are just as valuable. Even though in your mind, your abuser has managed to downgrade your sense of self and sense of value, your own sense of self-worth, the fact is, I can tell you have value and worth. Just because you don't think you do, it doesn't mean that you don't, because you do. You do have value and worth. So you need to start standing up for yourself, call the police, get your legal protections in place, and then, as I said, move out of that town. Because just because you've got the paper in place doesn't mean that he's not going to keep kind of breaking the rules. He will, and it will just be a huge shit fight. It's better to move, start a new life, rebuild from somewhere where you feel safe and secure. It makes a hell of a difference. Trust me, to know that your narcissistic ex or your sociopathic ex is on the other side of the country. Okay, you will sleep a lot easier, and having the legal protections in place, you will sleep so much easier. I mean, also, while you're waiting for all of those protections to occur, do what you need to do on the home front. Get all your locks and windows and doors, get that all under control. Don't allow easy access to your house. Get security, get alarms, get the stuff that you need to protect yourself. Get yourself a dog. Do what you need to protect yourself, because if you've got someone threatening you physically, you need to take that stuff seriously, especially if you have children. Now, with the kids, right, when you come to do any kind of co-parenting, there's no such thing as co-parenting with narcissists, wait until he takes you to court over that. Don't be handing over children to him. Don't be sending them off to have weekends with dad while he's off drinking and chasing other women and God knows what else. Don't even do it, because abusive people who abuse and physically hurt other people, they're not good parents, because they're doing that stuff in front of their kids. They're just not good people, and people who aren't good people aren't good parents. There's no kind of, it's no mystery there. If you're a bad person and you physically hurt another human being, or terrorize them or threaten them, you're not going to be a good parent. You might think that you are. You might think you've got a right and they're my children, I'm entitled to them. But no, I can almost guarantee, that these people are not good parents. So I wouldn't feel too badly about making sure that the court decides that. So if you have issues about the children's safety with him, raise that when you go to court. Remember to talk about his, criminal lifestyle, his drug abuse, his instability, homelessness, whatever it is that is going on with him in his, circus. Make sure you let the judge know all of that, because judges have got to protect children. Right, so they also, yes, they take father's rights or parental rights into consideration, but above everything, they have to protect children. So if you raise those things, for example, if he is, a chronic and habitual drug user, you may say, that you want him to be regularly drug tested. So those kind of things will help you feel more secure in dealing with him. And then when it comes down to the children and exchanging, dropping them off, picking them up, never allow him to see you. Get a third party to do it. He doesn't get the right to see you, talk to you, nothing you anymore. Okay, you need to be really, really clear in this. If you want this man gone, you can make him gone, but you need to be clear. You need to be prepared to fight for yourself and for the right to live a life free of narcissistic abuse. You should be able to go down the street and go to the supermarket without feeling physically threatened and intimidated by a bully. Essentially, that's all he is. And the thing with the bullies is, they don't think that they are on top, right? The way a bully thinks is they know that they are above some people and below others, right? So they can suss it all out. So, let's say they are bullying, you're his ex-partner, you're a woman, you're littler, you're weaker, you're scared of him, right? So he's a bully to you. But I can guarantee when Mr. 6'7" kickboxer walks into the room, he's not bullying Mr. 6'7", right? Okay, he doesn't think that he's above Mr. 6'7". He knows damn well that he will get his ass kicked. So this is why bullies only bully people who they perceive as being weaker. So when you have the police standing behind you and a court order standing behind you, now you're not looking so weak. When you say, I'm taking you on, this is a battle and I'm going to win this war, when you're saying that really clearly in your actions, they will take it seriously. It's not a game anymore. It's not fun for them anymore. Now there are real consequences. Now they may actually go to jail. So they will pay a lot more attention to what you're saying. It's not just you standing on your own going, please don't hurt me. Please leave me alone. Why do you do this? Why do you always do this? It's not you saying that. You don't have to be that person. Now it's quite clear. You can just say, here's my court order. Stay away. Right? Breach it. Go to jail. That's how simple it is. All right, darlings. Some of this stuff that I'm talking about, it touches on nerves, because obviously I have my own personal experience with all of this stuff, and I walk this fine line between trying to talk to you guys about it, then not wanting to kind of relive it so much. Yeah, it's a little bit challenging at times. Anyhow, darlings, listen, I think I'm going to end it there, but I just wanted to remind you that take the power and control away from this man because he's just a bully, okay? Move away. Start a new awesome life, a narc-free life elsewhere. Okay, you can do it. There's a big and beautiful world out there full of amazing people. Trust me on that, right? You think that little life that you're having with this narcissistic piece of shit ex-husband, right? You think that is the best that life has to offer you? No, darling, think again. Big, beautiful world full of amazing people, amazing experiences. But only you, right? You are the only person who has the power to make this happen. He is never going to just become Mr. Nice. Okay? So seize the moment. Get out there. Make this happen. All right, darlings. Much love to you and good luck with it. Thanks for watching. Oh, and also, just quickly, anyone who wants a one-on-one consult, the link's in the description box, and also the link is there to my Narc-Free Formulas Narc-Free Challenge. So that is awesome. Get to it. All right. See you. Bye.